If you thought the rise and fall of the three SMPs was big in 2023, then you should see what happened in 2022 with one SMP, the LVR SMP. LVR Network in 2022 was a smaller unturned network known for being widely controversial between all of who was involved. The network was created by Lucky Gamer at the time, and the small unturned network has a small gap in 2022 where they were playing Minecraft instead of Unturned. Filming is still top of the LVR Network charts production, Paradise 3, that is still being praised to this day. When Paradise 3 filming on Napa 4.0 was completed, and the Minecraft parts were also completed, the network collectively agreed after nuking the hell out of the map to migrate to an Earth map and retry the Earth SMP idea from 2019. The board of directors, LVR staff, included DanMW, Rennie, Coldnetic, Doggo, Cheems, and Lucky Gamer LVR. They had casted their votes with 100% approval to switch to an Earth SMP map, and everyone chose their respective areas. The United States to the west, then California was in California, with Nanimo setting up shop in Canada, Renix in present-day India with Doggo, and Cold set up in present-day Turkey, making the Ottoman Empire. Austin set up in Greenland with a Silver Wing. Some rando joined and set up Japan and called it APAN. Bush set up in South America. These are the most important countries for the sake of the beginning of the story. Nanimo set up his capital in the city of Nanaimo. Lucky Gamer set up his capital in Napa Valley of California, the California's first annex to Hawaii and Baja California. The Canadians started moving to the right into Alberta. The United States of the West made an alliance with the Knox Empire. Then the Knox Empire joined the Central Powers, which was led by DR Cold. The Knox Empire was created by Rennie. California then moved forces into Oregon and Washington, and bordered the Canadians, and created the infamous LVR history country, the United States of the West. Fun fact about LVR history: never in all of LVR's history has Canada and the United States of the West coexisted next to each other without a war taking place between them. This is example number 1 of that. The Canadians decided to make some jokes about throwing chemical weapons over the USTW and Canada border. The United States of the West retaliated by building a massive wall. If you know what a wall looks like, just look at the southern border of America. The United States of the West also made a very reassuring message, though, stating that they would not go to war with Canadians.
Tensions are on the rise between the Retards Republic of Canada and USOTW. At this time, advisory evacuation of Washington, BC, and Alberta are taking place.
The first combat-filled war was about to begin. The United States of the West was on the border for 25 hours and was about to turn around and head home when a Canadian barrage of chemicals flew over the Canadian wall, sparking the newly formed United States of the West to full force slam through the wall. War between the two nations had begun. The United States of the West quickly took over and forced Canada into new terms. Canada had to change to the Retards Republic of Canada, pay $500,000 of reparations, and become the West puppet. Before this deal, though, the United States of the West already called them the Retards Republic of Canada. Nanimo agreed, but moved all factories and chemical workshops to Africa and Sokoto Caliphate. Nanimo, in an attempt to make things better, decided to mock the West and the Western powers. This obviously angered everyone in the North-South America, causing Silverwing to be the first to declare war on Greenland. And the United States of the West stayed neutral in that war. Silverwing missed one major detail, though. The Sokoto Caliphate had agreed to enter the Central Powers. Silverwing got wrecked by all of the Central Powers in the world. The United States of the West formed the Anti-Annoying Alliance, which basically passed a law that the server's most annoying people could not seek refuge in their land. These two people were Keck_YT and Nanaimo 2013. Sokoto Caliphate had officially announced chemical weapons, like the one that was used in Canada, were passed for testing in their land. The United States was all like, "Ah!" And the United States of the West, geared for battle, backed by the Renanian Empire, used to be not, and a few other countries. Troops moved in for the biggest landing on the server so far. Sokoto Caliphate's allies all announced that they would not engage due to the terrible decision that was made. by Sokoto Caliphate. The Sokoto Caliphate collapsed and the United States of the West took Nanamo as a war criminal. The world had then started mutually agreeing that Kek_YT was very annoying and should be personally banned from each country. So one at a time, multiple countries started banning Kek_YT. The United States of the West then announced that they were turning into the North American Union and went full dictatorship. They took the rest of North America, a small bit of China, and the NAU changed the Anti-Annoying Alliance into the Entente Alliance to compete with the Central Powers. Nanaimo then fled captivity and moved to the Yuan dynasty, where Kek was forced to exile in the next door country, the Shun dynasty. Nanamo, as the Yuan dynasty, decided to declare war on the Shun dynasty. Silverwing, coming back from the dead with a new leader, then entered the war on the side of the Yuan, until the Central Powers came and were like, no, you stay. And Silverwing was forced to peace out of the war, and went to the Entente and cried to them saying, "The Ceres Central dudes are scary, please help." And Entente accepted him into the alliance, and then in a shocking turn of events, the Entente Alliance officially passed the Anti-Annoying Anti-Tolerance Act, which went a little like this. That person is very annoying. They're a war criminal. Throw them in jail. Then they were thrown into jail. They then realized that is a really dumb idea and decided to start undoing the bill. The Yuan dynasty then fell shortly after that, and Nanaimo was able to seek refuge back in the city of Nanaimo. The North American Union then left the Entente Alliance and upset the balance of the world. The NAU decided to leave Asia, Africa, and Greenland, staying only in North America. The Central Powers then realized just how much the North American president Lucky Gamer had abused using creative mode and decided to use it as a reason to declare war. The Central Powers landed in the east and landed in Murloc. Murloc was a city near the Canadian Wall. North American Union lost terribly and was scaled back down to just California. 5 more countries formed out of the loss of the Union. The 5 were the Klux Empire, Canada, Republic of Nunavut, the Great Lake Union, and the United States of the East. The United States of the West decided literally right after being invaded to start colonizing North America again. Quickly, the United States of the West made an alliance with Canada, which was ran by Nanamo 2013, promising definitely not to invade them later. Oregon and Washington, owned by Canada, the United States of the West just took it. Just like that. No fight. They didn't even try and stop him. Just straight up took Oregon and Washington back. He set his sights on the Great Lake Union. He strong-armed the president there to sign an integration form. Then he set his sights on the United States of the East after taking the Great Lake Union. Lucky pulled out of the American alliance that was formed after the end of the World War I, and set his sights on the East again. Lucky realized he needs a reason to invade the East so he doesn't piss off everyone else, and set up the president there, Kek_YT, to make a terroristic joke towards the West, which would justify Lucky to go to war. Lucky steamrolled through the East after declaring war and took it as a puppet. While all of this was happening, Nanamo 2013 had started back up on his chemical weapons testing. We all know what happens when he starts chemical weapon testing. The United States of the West did not like that, and the interaction about it went a little like this. Oopsies, my chemicals leaked into the South. The South is my land. I know. Are you gonna do something about that? No. We declare war. This is now the second time Canada and the United States of the West have been at war. The United States of the West, per usual, steamrolled through Canada, and threw them up above North America, out of the way. Lucky then struck a deal with South America to completely take over the entire continent. This deal stunned the Central Powers, as South America was in the Central Powers. The country they had just invaded a week before was already back to similar strength as before. The overly quick growth from Lucky scared the Central Powers a lot, and they realized it's time to start putting away Lucky permanently. The start of the Second World War was coming. Before the Central Powers could act, a country in Africa, Silverwing, had sent a nuclear strike to the United States of the West, Los Angeles. The area was completely wrecked, and the United States of the West nuked Silverwing back and took it as a puppet state. After dealing with that, Lucky realized he had only one country left to deal with after taking over the Republic of Nunavut very quickly, the Klux Empire. The United States of the West decided just to nuke their capital and take it. Boom. The United States of the West was back to top dog. of the world. The United States of the West and all the allies were pissed off with the scheming that was taking place between the Central Powers, and before they could even act, they declared war on the Central Powers. The Central Powers, in retaliation, sent all nukes to the world. The West did the same, and that led to the end of the world. World War II was won by nobody. Napa was the last city in the West to be nuked, and just before, there was no panic in the town at all, just peace. All of the alliance leaders of the old Entente Alliance were all gathered together. They were happy just before the bomb went off. Just before it went off, you could hear the chorus of Fallen Kingdom playing. The nuking of Napa signaled the end of the world, and every population center of the world had collapsed.